Check, check, one, check, two. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. I'm ready. You ready? Check.
Am I ready?
You ready, sir?
Yeah, I got to say that in a while.
Yeah. Check, baby, Check, one, check, two, check.
I think mine's working.
Yeah, that sounded pretty good, I think, too. Hello. Coming at you from the back shack. Ryan and Ryan.
Where you been?
Man, everywhere and nowhere, man. Everywhere and nowhere.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been forever since we've been back here.
It's been a while, man. Feels good to be back, though. Feels good to be back. Yeah, I don't even have my sunglasses, man. What's really going on?
They would just be fogging up. My glasses are fogging up.
Yeah, I keep losing them anyways.
Because my eyebrows are too big.
Yeah.
Holds all that heat in.
I put the sunglasses on my head and they fall off at some point or another, and I never know where they go.
Dude, you burned through like a few pairs in the last month or two.
Oh, I did too, man. Yeah. I was like, I'm grounded from sunglasses for a while.
You kept a pair for a year. Now you just can't keep track of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I never wear mine.
Yeah.
I wore them for a little bit tonight.
Kind of feels weird not having them on. That light. See, I'm glad I wear it because that light is bright right there, man. It's shining on me. It got me sweating over here, man. I feel like I'm in the chair getting drilled in by the detectives. You know what I mean? Where was he at? The night, Friday night, around 6 o'clock.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Who were you with? Where were you at? Did someone vouch for you?
No. See?
Sweat just dripping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, that's funny.
Too fun.
Yeah, good times, man. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing good, man. Really good, actually. Really good. Struggling, of course. At times we do, but overcoming, persevering, man, moving forward.
Good.
And creating just ripples of greatness, man. Yeah. Ripples of greatness.
So it's weird, like, I don't know. I mean, at times I feel like I'm slacking on that part. You know what I'm saying? And then, and I'm like, nobody can be as hard on me as me. So I understand that philosophy of things, but it's like, even at work, sometimes I feel like, am I really helping people? And what makes it tough is that I believe that everybody can be better. And then when a small percentage are and the rest aren't, it just makes it, and I lose sight of it's about the one.
Right, man. Yeah. Just keep showing up. That's all I always tell myself, because I get like that sometimes where it's like, man, is this even working? Is this paying off?
Right.
And it's like, in some of those moments, what's coming is always greater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not seeing it. You get short-sighted possibly. So you just keep showing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just keep showing up. And again, you say, yeah, it's about that one.
Yeah.
Well, eventually that one's going to show up, man. And then you're going to have that divine appointment.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just like, boom, man. It just, I mean,
well, it's the whole idea too that my fruits aren't for me; they're for others.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if I'm plucking my own fruits, what am I doing wrong here? And but it is nice.
You're eating them before someone else can partake, man.
Well, I don't know, and a lot of times in my life, well, you just use the job as an example. Is like I could see my progression. I could see what work I was getting done. So like farming, it was always nice. So if I was working ground, I could look behind me and see how much ground I worked. At the same time, I could see, oh man, I got half section to go.
Yeah.
But you try not to focus that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
And so name a job that I've had. I've not had this style. I've not worked this type of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
on Friday, I almost went back to driving a truck.
Don't do it right.
I know. That's what I know, though, right?
Yeah, true. I guess I couldn't say don't do it. You know what I mean? You can do what you're going to do, man.
But I've shared enough times like how I got to where I'm at. My biggest fear on Friday when I came home was everything that happened in September would go away. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was healed for a purpose, and it sure wasn't to drive a damn truck.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think God will use you, though, wherever you find yourself.
He will, but he could definitely allow me to.
But if he wants you on this path and you're being guided and directed to do so,
yeah,
I mean, you're going to have some turbulence, man.
Right.
And it's that discipline, man, is showing. Keep coming back, man. Keep showing up. regardless of how you feel in the moment.
Yeah.
We're we got to do hard things, man. We got to do hard things. I think the world could do better by doing more hard things.
Showing up for the clients is the easy part, but it wouldn't have been in a work capacity, and that would not allow me to advocate for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird. Like I left on Friday and went back on Tuesday, and now they added a group for me. So it's just like when I went from third shift to first shift, they gave me 1 day and then 2 days and then 3 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I guess
they're probably feeling you out to see how you kind of do in that environment, maybe too at the same time. Or if they could find somebody else, they might be trying to find somebody else too to fill the spot. Who knows? I
don't think it's that as much. My attitude always is people not doing things the way I think they should. So I have a real problem with that.
It's like a true addict statement almost, man.
Right. Now listen. Now hear me out on this. There's some bits to this, and you could say it probably happens where you work at also.
Oh, for
there's
sure.
An expectation, and there's certain rules that you follow, and you don't bend. Right. So if you have a deadline that needs to be met, your job is to meet that deadline. And sometimes your job is to get other people that don't want to meet the deadline to meet that same deadline, right? So if you're trying to ship an order out and your shipper's on time, but your loader's not, it could get aggravated.
Yeah, like what I like to say there is, and I will say this too. And in fact, I said it today because we were having onslaught of failures, and what you're talking about was affecting my
even though it's not your direct work,
right? But it is affecting my work though through their work. So what I said to them, I was like, look, your failures are going to be my failures just the same.
I mean, I guess what I mean, it's not something that you did to cause a failure.
Right,
someone else did, but it affects your job.
Oh yeah, but it affects me and makes me look bad too. So I'm like, your failures are your failures. Why? We need to look at it more of along the lines of your success is my success. So let's bring it about and let's just create something great. Those ripples of greatness. Let's allow you to succeed, and I will do what I can to get you to succeed. So that way, by your success, I am also succeeding. So your success is creating my success just the same.
I would think too.
And then it's vice versa.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, when you're doing that, hopefully that overflows onto other people to motivate them. Now, what can happen is people get pissed off because you're good at what you do.
Well, that's inevitable, man. That's enviness and jealousy. And
I've never worked a job like that. I'm 44 years old, dude. Never. I've worked in ag though.
Yeah.
It's family.
Yeah, that's a little different.
So now where I'm at, it's catty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's that politic type stuff too. You know what I mean? And, you just got to be a little bit more surgical.
No place for that where I'm at. There shouldn't be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There shouldn't be.
But that's gonna be anywhere. I mean, look at where we're at. I mean, we're in the world, so I mean that stuff's gonna exist, and you just have to. I don't know, man. Get stronger, man. Get tougher, Ryan. Good. Exactly. Good.
Like what's going on. Do your job better and make them more mad so they'll quit.
Good. Yeah, I said that today too. Some guy was talking, and I looked over. I was like, "Good," and he knew what it said. He was like, "Yeah, good." I was like, "Yeah, exactly, man, exactly."
So yeah, it made for this past week. I was having such, and I think too is this complacency thing. Like I was on such a good run of just, staying busy, staying focused on what we're doing, hitting a lot of meetings, advocating, learning new things, all this stuff. And then,
so your discipline got checked to
really?
a point.
Okay.
Based off that last our last show, man.
My discipline definitely got checked in the aspect of letting my anger get the better of me. So I got to a point of anger where I know that typically at that point, like I need to walk away.
Yeah.
And the good thing is I never uttered the words I quit. But I stood in the doorway for 20 minutes waiting for my boss there with all my stuff in my hands. And when she came in,
screw you guys, I'm going home.
She said, that's about how it went. When she walked in, she's like, what's going on, Ryan? Because I had a winter coat in one hand and a hoodie. I didn't tell her that. I love that place.
Yeah.
But so earlier in the week, an email got sent out, and then apparently that email meant nothing to anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't understand those things. I don't understand why people just can't do the simple job that they're asked to do. I just can't wrap my head around those things. And that's coming from a guy that's a procrastinator and lazy. But at work, I'm a different person. It's weird. If you saw me at work, you'd be like, why don't you do that everywhere? the drive should be the same, right?
Yeah, should be the same.
And yeah, so it's hard.
I would say it would be even.
It's hard sitting next
to
someone
same
who's
or even
highly
more
disciplined.
So. Yeah, or even more so when I get on my time.
I would say if I wasn't working at the treatment center, I would agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do put a lot of, not so much physical, even though I have the last 3 weeks got out and bowled and played basketball, which is way out of my comfort zone. And I got better.
Yeah.
It's weird. I jumped off the ground one day. And the reality of that was I used to, even when I was a big guy, I was still athletic, and now I'm not.
I just picture you jumping up and dunking it.
Couldn't even touch the net.
We could drop the rim down, man.
You know what I am? You know what I am good at?
7 foot.
Setting a pick.
For sure.
This kid
Brick wall.
This kid come running at me, young guy, like he was gonna move me. He hit me and fell to the ground. I just couldn't help but laugh. I felt bad for laughing at him, but
classic.
I said,
no way. I would have felt bad about that.
But try that.
Yeah, you're on the court, man.
Then a dude
playing with a big dude. Watch out, man.
I'm not the tallest though.
I control the paint.
Yeah. Then a guy, I went to go put a shot up from, I don't know, just 8 feet out or so, and he stuffed me. Oh man, he let me have it too. See, that was 2 weeks ago. He's still talking about it. So, but yeah, I don't. It does. It has to go with motivation and discipline and those things, and it does. It makes it hard to sit next to somebody who's highly disciplined.
Yeah,
it really does. And it's good motivation because it keeps me doing stuff, even though my ideas of what I'm gonna use that discipline for might be different. Like I really don't enjoy running, so I probably won't do that. But I still need to be disciplined to do things, especially like what I put in my body.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean? That's huge.
That's why I rest in that verse that says it's not what you put in your body that defiles you; it's what comes out. Like I can eat whatever I want.
Right? It's like loophole.
I'm really. That's addict behavior.
Yeah.
I can find a loophole. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Well, this verse contradicts this one, but there's 3 of these, so let's roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a mission to be done, and getting to see like through you and through other people, how other people get to be successful by us doing very little is always amazing to get to see that in hindsight.
Yeah. I was having those thoughts the other night as I was laying in bed, and I think a lot of people do get caught up and try to do like too much, almost to a point. And, we're always trying to do this and do this. Like so much depends upon us and what we're doing. And in hindsight, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really us doing anything. It would be more on the spiritual basis. It would be God moving and directing. And you know what I mean? Like he's going to be able to accomplish his missions and his goals, you know what I mean? Right. And probably do so better without me bouncing all the way around trying to do 100 different types of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting involved in this, I don't know where I'm going with this, but getting involved in this, doing this. And then you get so occupied and so busy with just things that aren't really of great importance. So you're missing out on those great things because you're doing so many, I guess,
minimal value.
Yeah, minimal value. Yeah.
And then when you get tired, you're not effective.
Right.
Or you get burnt out.
Or, that thing comes along where you're supposed to do, and then you're just like, man, I'm just drained from all this other stuff. So then you're missing out on the whole freaking purpose.
There's been a couple of times we were supposed to roll this, and I was too tired.
Yeah. Me as well, man. Right back at you.
One of those a day. Well, you've been in training, though.
Yeah, I have been.
So you want to talk about that a little bit?
It's just been pretty intense, man.
You think it's pretty intense now, or do you think it's going to intense at 6 a.m. Saturday?
Yeah, it's going to get pretty off the chain, I think. I don't know, man. I was just talking to my buddy too. He told me I need to make a list out of tonight of like my expectations and what I'm thinking is going to happen and the process, you know what I mean? The ending result. And then, after everything's done, kind of take a look back at that and see just kind of where we lined. But I'll be doing a 100-mile race, be my first one ever on Saturday. Saturday, 6 a.m.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. My expectation is, hopefully coming in around that 24-hour mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And finishing 6 a.m. Sunday morning, hoping to be done. I mean, that's kind of my expectation. Probably pretty big expectation.
You feel like you're testing your limits?
Yeah, I think so. And, that was the reasoning behind this race, because I know, I can do 50 milers. I know I can do 100K.
Yeah.
On a good day.
Which
You know
is
what I mean? If I'm prepared and everything, and everything is going like it should, and I'm feeling good, and I've nothing crazy happens, like I don't face injury or something, I can do those. And I'm feeling great right now.
I would say, would it be fair to say most people that don't finish, it's from mechanical injury?
No, a lot of people, yeah. I mean, I would say that, or, I don't know because I've never ran one myself, but I know once you get into that, what I've heard is once you get in that like 80, most people will drop out around that 80, 90 mile mark because their body is hurting so bad that they fear that they will do detrimental harm to themselves by continuing on those last miles.
I have read a little bit, mostly since I met you and you sent me some stuff, and it's, well, the one guy I think was David Goggins. He ran an extremely long race, and when he got done, both his feet were broken. Little tiny fractures.
Yeah, little tiny fracture breaks. See, and those happen. Like I on that 50 when I ran, I broke my that right, like that toe.
Oh yeah,
around that upper part, just fractures in my toe, and I mean, I continued on.
Yeah,
I mean, your body just hurts so bad.
You don't know why.
Exactly, you just hurt, man. You just hurt. So I mean, yeah,
empathize with that after 12 minutes of basketball.
There is a guy. He fell. I was listening to a guy. Tuning these podcasts. I can't remember his name, but he was talking about it, and he fell, and he had his sticks out. His walking sticks, hiking sticks, or whatever, and was walking and fell, broke his. I think he broke his hand, and got back up, and finished the race. And finish the race with a broken hand.
Right.
So, I mean, to get back up and continue on, I can't remember what mile he was on, but I mean, I know he probably had at least another 20 miles in him. And, that's going through probably pretty rough terrain as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, these guys are beasts, but, and then goes back, but that's kind of why I want to do the 100 miler, because I want to, test my limits. I want to see kind of where I'm at, what I'm capable of doing. Is 100 mile my limit? I don't know. And me and my buddy were talking about that the other night. You know what I mean? If say, and I do see myself finishing this race, I also see my buddy finishing this race. So say we do finish this race, what's next? You know what I mean? Is it another 100 miler? Do I test myself at this race coming up in July? You know what I mean? That's going to be
totally different circumstances.
Yeah, that's going to be running 100-degree weather probably, and I tackle that, and let me see what I got. You know what I mean? Or do I increase it and do something even more intense?
Which then even at night, I mean, how do they have it lit up? Do you just have like spotlights?
You wear headlamps, flashlights. What I got is a headlamp, with a good battery life. I mean, it's a good headlamp, and then I got just a little mini light. That takes like AAA batteries for a backup that I carry in the bag. So it's like if my headlight goes out, at least I got that. And you know what I mean? And the race I'm doing and that's what I was kind of laughing about what you said there too, was like looking behind you and when you're plowing fields, you look back and you can kind of see what you did. And I'm running a 7.7 mile loop pretty much. So it's not a loop, but it's a little 7.7 mile little course. 13 times. So it's like, and there's turns. So it's like, you're not going to be able to look back and be like, well, you can look down, like I haven't gone anywhere. I'm just going in circles.
I want to see the Google map when you're done, because it's just going to be this. Loop.
Yeah, man. And then they and on this race too, they just they text out just directions.
Yeah.
So I just have directions. I got to follow the directions. So hopefully I get it memorized pretty fairly
Very
quick.
Interesting. I didn't figure to be flagged.
He said he had the turns flagged.
Yeah.
But then he said you got to be careful of vandalism. So I imagine in years past, maybe people have
come on and
moved the flags, or people do stupid stuff. You know what I mean?
Wasn't very smart.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Let me see you out there moving a flag.
I don't want to be nowhere near anybody running. Makes me feel guilty.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. And then, the weather, they keep changing things. It's like you can sit here and play, like again, man, you can sit here and plan for all kinds of stuff, but again, man, you just got to show up. You just got to show up. And that's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to show up Saturday morning. And I mean, I've done some pretty intense training here, for the last years, I've been running and increasing miles and getting after it and staying focused regardless how I'm feeling, man. I'm still getting up, still doing
it. Year 4 then for you?
I think
I'm taking it serious.
Yeah, year 3 maybe, if like real serious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to. Yeah, probably year 1. Yeah, it'd have been year 3 of taking it real serious. Yeah. And then I was running probably maybe a year before that, but nothing crazy. I was just kind of getting back into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Time flies, so I'd have to go back and look.
I think you hit the nail on the head with the word crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. See, and that's why I said, I was like, I feel like doing something crazy. So
yeah. No,
I'm gonna do something crazy, man. Like, and I think more people should do that. You should test your limits, man, a little bit, man. Do some hard stuff, man. Do some stuff that I don't know if I'm going to succeed or not. And if I fail, man, I fail, dude. And if I fail, man, I learn something. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And you learn how to fail well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Learn that failure, and then let that failure bring you to success. Because you're going to have failures, obviously. You know what I mean? And I hope I don't have great failure on Saturday, but if it should happen, and it might happen, and if it happens, I'm gonna stand back up, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep on going, and that's what I said too. I was like, that's what I said too. All that race, I was like, man, if I'm gonna keep going until something fails. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like my body will heal, my body will make it, and I'm just gonna keep on moving along. Just got to focus on nutrition, focus on hydration.
I think there has to be a part of it, though. For you, I can't speak for other people that are running the race, but your spirituality has to play into it. Your faith of this carry.
Oh man, yeah.
And like, to me, the first thing that comes to mind is like, and I understand that where Paul's talking about weakness, he's not necessarily talking about physical weakness, but he is. This is after this dude's been all over the Middle East preaching and opening churches and beaten and shipwrecked and all these things. You know what I mean? And it says, I work best when you're weak.
Yeah. And, and I was having that conversation, I think, with my wife the other day, and my buddy, was there, and we were having that conversation, that same one. And I was like, I look forward to that moment in the race where I can know that I'm not moving forward in my own strength. Yeah. Like that is the moment that I look forward to in those races,
right,
where I am in so much fatigue and pain, where it's like, that's when God begins to step in. And that's when you have that just even a more so connection with God in those moments. Yeah. And then it begins to take over, and then you just get flooded with something, you know what I mean, of that divine nature.
Oh yeah.
And then you begin to press on, and it's just like you can feel it in those moments, and it's just
where that literally played out.
Yeah.
When you guys ran that,
we ran we ran that Flat Rock, man. That was intense, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wasn't even in there, and it was intense for about 7 minutes for me.
Yeah. And there's a guy, man, I wish I had his name here. I just know the quote. He's an excellent runner as well. And his quote is, I want to try it word for word, but his quote is, if you want to change your life, run a marathon.
Right.
If you want to talk to God, run an ultra marathon.
Right.
I love that, man. I love that.
Well, you might meet him. That's the thing. There's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah.
I think I'm like ultra careful on certain things because I engaged in so many risky behaviors of my past, of pushing thresholds of different things that were not beneficial, of course. But even now, like there's a tiny amount of fear, you know what I mean? Like when I was jogging last year, like immediately I kind of tore my knee up, and I was like, I don't want to feel like that again.
Yeah, you do it, man. Keep going though.
I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, you just keep going.
I don't take the elevator at work if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah,
they tell me I should. Dude, we were playing cards the other night.
Don't take the elevator ride.
I know, I won't. Unless I have to take the cards because I can't carry them up.
Yeah.
So we were playing cards the other night, and I dropped one of the cards, and the dude sitting next to me, because he knew I had to bend over to get it from my chair. He goes, "Oh, this will be interesting." Like,
oh no!
I don't think it would. I mean, and I've known this guy for a long time.
Hilarious.
You know him.
Yeah.
And he said, "Would that fly if he would have said it?" And I said, "Oh yeah, dude, I embrace my fat kidness. If anybody, I mean, I have to, And so so the first time we played basketball, they clowned on me pretty hard, and then at the end, they're like, "Dang, you're pretty good for a fat guy."
See, I was out riding bikes. I was out riding bikes yesterday, and this guy likes to mess with me a little bit too, because he doesn't run a lot, and he was out riding with us, and we went on like nothing crazy, like 12-mile ride or something. And he likes to mess with me and say, "Man, you're going to be in a wheelchair. You're going to be, you know what I mean? You're going to be jacked. You need new knees and knew this all the time. So I told him last night, I was like, I've been giving that a lot of thought. How you always, you say that I'm going to be in wheelchairs or my knees are going to be jacked when I get older. And I just told him, I was like, man, I've been giving this a lot of thought here lately. And, I never envisioned myself really making it to 40 years old when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
I never really pictured myself making it to 40. And, I don't necessarily know that I make it to 70 to 80. I don't even know if I make it next week.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in the moment, man, I'm gonna live it to the fullest, man, and I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do some hard things. I'm gonna go out there and test the limits, man, and I hope that process continues, and I continue to get better and better, and I continue to be able to stretch those limits out even farther and farther, and you know what I mean, like. I want to do some things, man. Like, man, I was giving some thought too, man. I would love to ride my bike across America. Like, that's kind of like, I've had that in my head here lately. It's like, I would like to do that, man.
Well, I would start. Start with the bike across Kansas.
Yeah, I said that too, man. I was like, yeah.
Then maybe go south to north or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how that plays out just because of the time involved. You would have.
I don't think it would take that much time, man. Maybe a month. I bet you'd take maybe a month to get across, man.
Right, but are you gonna?
I mean, guys are running across it, man.
That's not what. My point is, you have a full-time job that's 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So are you going to take a month vacation?
Yeah, you just take vacation.
See, so there's a lot involved in it.
Yeah. The logistics and everything, man. Yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like, I want to get to a point where I'm not held down by that.
I know. You're close. You're getting every day you're closer.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. Well, Casey's 2 more years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you can change the ball game a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Casey gets summertime off. I'll just be like, hey, man, let's go for a bike ride.
Yeah. I don't know. I would get annoyed probably. He's a good kid, but yeah.
Yeah, he is, man. He's been putting in some distance, man. He's been putting in some miles with us too on some runs, man. I think his longest run to date was, I think he's 10 miles, man. I think he's pretty done. Good. And he's a freshman, so that's pretty good for that. I know I never ran 10 miles as a freshman. Not at one time.
I didn't run 10 minutes as a freshman. I guess I did probably in football.
Yeah.
We had to run a mile.
Yeah.
Probably took me 20 minutes.
I was going to say, dang, you was knocking 10-minute miles, man, as a lineman.
You seen my pace after not running for 20 years.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I just couldn't go the full mile.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe instead of buying Hey Dudes, I should buy some running shoes.
Yeah, do it, man, do it.
I don't know.
Get your bike then or something, man.
Dude, I struggle on the bike because I'd have to get me like a fat kid seat. And it's weird on a sport bike.
Go swimming.
I've thought about that.
Yeah. There's always something like, there's what is it, man? Chase was saying this the other day, man. There's basically 3 things that we do as humans as far as activity wise. They all wrap around those 3. It's swimming, running, and what was it? I can't remember now. Lifting, maybe. Was it weightlifting?
Yeah. I think that's something too that I had such a benefit in my past of work because most of my jobs were physical.
Yeah.
So like if everything you touch is 50 pounds and you do it 500 times a day, that's a pretty good workout through the day.
Yeah. Swimming, running, and biking. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like the triathlon, I guess. Yeah, swimming, biking, and running.
Good times.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks, man.
So your last long race, and I knew that you would make because I think it was a 50 miler that you did.
Yeah, it was we ran 56. It was a 12-hour time. It was like a 12-hour.
No, I'm talking about the Flat Rock one.
Oh, that was a 50K. 50K. Yeah.
So that's like what, 38 miles?
32. 32-ish. I think it came out to be 31.
So I knew that you would get 26 for sure.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of interesting.
That's when we crashed, man.
Huh?
That's about when we started really tapering off. I think it was around that 26.
I think we dialed it in and it was around the 28-mile mark.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because we timed it out versus when I was praying for you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, that's one thing that I've noticed over the last couple months. So we were doing the adoration prayer and like my prayer life was so solid. And then I didn't go for a week. And it's weird. It's almost like that change in routine kind of screwed me
Dude,
up.
it's terrible, man.
So then it's
Yeah.
like I'm back to square one almost in a certain aspect.
Wow, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's weird because, like, I don't know, I pray a lot at work. You know, like I've never had someone specifically come by and be like, you know, to see. So it's interesting, like when you pray for someone and then they tell you what's happening, and then you can, like, just with the race thing, and I realized, like, that's the exact moment I was praying for you, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, it was the exact moment, man. Yeah.
so these kids that come through and, you know, they're whatever I hear all kinds of stuff, you know, that's whatever's going on with their life. And then the next day I come in and, you know, I'll hear them be like, oh, I was talking to my mom and, you know, this happened and this happened and this happened, you know, and in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Thanks God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I go express that to him, you know, I was like, did you pray about that? Cause that's what I encourage them to do. And, like, oh, well, yeah, you know, yeah.
No.
Exactly. They don't want to tell me no. And I understand that.
Yeah.
And so then I'll be like, well, I prayed for you. And their eyes kind of light up and they're like, you did? You know, that's awesome. But their question isn't like, you think God did that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm trying to get them to wrap their head around that.
Yeah, to understand
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And a lot of them, man,
To acknowledge it at least, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's tough for them, the churchy idea. I mean, they got face tattoos and they look pretty rough and they walk in somewhere or they've been to church a bunch. But I think the hardest thing too, and it's addictive behavior, is the whole patience thing. Like trying to get them to understand eternity is impossible.
Yeah.
It is next to impossible because they're still so stuck in this here and now. So like even with your race, you have this focus, but you're thinking about the next race already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to a point.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's your last race.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's natural.
True, I'm seeing it. Yeah.
You know, you're not necessarily specific. Like, all right, so I'm gonna run this, and it's and then enjoy. You know, no, it's not that. But you're already preparing for recovery.
Yeah.
You already know what you're gonna do.
Got a plan in place.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's preparation for what's next.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know if it's. I can't put my finger on things sometimes, you know what I mean? And that's the hardest thing for me because I like to know, you know, why something is the way it is. So then even it's just like, I mean, I can go back and say, all right, well, we switched it up from Lenten adoration prayers just to open adoration hours. And at first I'm like, well, I can come out anytime I want. I don't need to sign up on that board. You know what I mean? And and then I didn't go at all.
Yeah. Well, once you sign up,
and I go.
You're committed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I am.
Yeah.
And if I sign up and I don't go, then I feel obligated to snitch myself out. I guess. You know.
Guilt trip, man. Yeah.
But it's weird how fast that can go.
For sure. Yeah. Real fast. Yeah. And you know, on the prayer life too, man, I'd noticed mine had been slipping a little bit myself, as you were saying. And I always wake up in the morning, dude. Always like my first thoughts and my first about everything. You know what I mean? To be on God. I'll usually start with, not usually, I always start with the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the first thing that's spoken in the morning. That's how I like to start my mornings. And I had been slipping on that. And, I caught myself a few weeks back, man.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple weeks back. And I was like, man, like I haven't done that for a while. So it's like, so now I'm starting that
cycle,
that process again. And at first it was like, I'd wake up, my alarm going off, I'd hit it, maybe pull up something on the phone real quick or think about my day and start, looking ahead to what's going on, what I got to do. And then it was like, then in those moments, I'd be like, maybe 30 seconds go by, oh man, prayer, boom.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, some mornings it hits me right off the gate, or maybe it's like, within 5-10 seconds, it's like, boom. So it's starting to become that, that every day, just boom. That's my first thought.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I love my morning routine and I have a short one because I appreciate people that get up hours before work and their routines forever.
Good luck, man. I suck at that.
If I do that, I won't go to work. You know what I mean? I just won't and it's not that I don't enjoy my job, don't want to make money. It's I get sidetracked with something that's more enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so yeah, so I end my day. My last prayer is, God help me.
Mm.
3 words, dude.
That's fire right there. I like that.
In the morning,
I need you. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner.
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, you know, and it's because of step work and it's become a natural thing. When I take account of my day,
yeah,
I'm letting go of anger. I'm basically doing trading pain for peace every night.
Sure, yeah.
So
that's how my night usually
I already
works,
know that during the day sometime I'm going to slip up, and it's usually that I say something stupid.
Yeah.
Like I still have such a problem with cussing, and I don't hate myself for it, but there's times where I let that slip where it's an inappropriate time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
I think that I think that there's some I think that I'm forgivable in the aspect of when I'm trying to relate to somebody, that it doesn't offend them. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. So there's that part, but then at the other side of that is that then it becomes habitual, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I used to call my kids motherfuckers, not even to be mean, but it was just like, I would say, all right, come on, you little MFers, let's go. You know?
Hey, I'll be like, what the F sometimes.
Well, that too. And this was, and so I know
I did it today, in fact, baby.
I know. And I try not, it's weird because I've done so well on here. I've had a couple slips, and of course this one was purposeful. I said it directly, but I had a mom come up and she's like, you know, you really shouldn't call your boys that. And I said, I've been calling that since they came out of the womb. You know, I was like, they know. And she said, but do they really? Do they, when you're calling them that? You know, and it kind of resonated with me for a while. And so, yeah, but now they call me bro. Not dad. They're like, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Yeah. I'd be like, I'm not your bro, man. I'm your dad.
I try going down that road with them, you know.
Yeah.
It's a miracle they even talk to me, probably.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it really is. And so I appreciate that part, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It has just been an interesting, has it been a month since we've been on here? I don't
know, man. I don't think it's been that long.
2 weeks at least.
I don't know, man.
Usually when we start out, I said, what did we talk about last week? You know, and like, oh, we talked about motivation.
Discipline, though. Last
was
time.
It discipline?
Yeah, it was discipline, man. Because we talked about discipline, dedication. We talked a little bit about motivation in that too, man. That was the last one, man. I'm telling you. I remember.
Oh, what is happening here?
I don't know, man. System failures.
So listen.
Maybe the end of the world is happening right now as we're on the podcast. All systems down.
People want us to talk about that.
Yeah, they do, man. They love talking about that, man.
I found myself getting caught up in it a little bit.
I don't mind talking about it. You know what I mean? I talk about it here and there. It doesn't really bother me much.
Oh my goodness. Do you remember our password?
I look forward to it, so it's whatever. Oh no, man. I know, yeah, I saved it, man. I did. I saved it, Ryan. Remember? We were sitting there and I was like, man, maybe we should save this. Because we're gonna need it. Here we are today, man. I'm coming through.
I think it's R&R. I had a kid do some work on this computer for me, and I forgot it logged me out of everything.
Nope.
I got it.
It's on here somewhere. Brian, it would take.
No, I got it.
Yep, there it is, right there. Boom.
Yep, I did remember. So now I have to reset everything up. Oh, I hate when I do this to myself.
The end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. That's what I always hear. And I feel fine. Yeah. I feel fine, Ryan. Feel fine.
Are you motivated?
I'm motivated. Dedicated.
I don't know if I'm that ever.
Man, that's what I hear. Every time you say that, that's what I hear. We fired up to a point.
Yeah. We talked about some good stuff on here, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that last one, man. I thought it was a very good show, man. It was really good, man. I liked it.
Weirdly, straight after we talked about it, I felt very unmotivated. Well, that's how it works, though. You know, I mean, that temptation, and it's like, you know, the whole pray without ceasing, and this idea, like, you know, meditate on my word day and night, and you know, so on and so forth, and which I think are direct commands that we need to follow to be obedient.
Oh yeah,
I think it plays into salvation and
on the heart, the mind, man, the soul.
Yeah. Well, it's weird too. Like God gives you the words. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll have an idea. Like, all right, I'm gonna go meet with this guy, and this is what I'm gonna tell him. And then I get there, and I don't even know what I say sometimes. And at the end, they're just like, "Wow, you're right." I was like, "I don't even know what I said, dude. That was all God. He put it on my heart for you." And I'm not trying to make that in a prophetic sense. Don't get, you know, I understand there's a difference, you know, but it's just like, really, honestly, it just comes straight from Scripture.
Yeah, really, it does, man. Really, it does. For sure, it does.
There's so much merit to that.
Man, so much to it. Yeah. I was thinking about angels unaware here today, man. That's what I was thinking about.
So, I was talking to dude tonight, and he's been in recovery. I asked him if he'd come be the chaplain at the treatment center I work at. He's been in recovery, and he lived out north of town. He was by himself, end of the rope, pistol in his hand. Had a few animals, but he didn't have any cats. So he's sitting on the porch, getting ready to commit suicide. And a cat just comes and jumps on his lap. He has big dogs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never cats there. And he said it was just the weirdest thing. You know, he just like looked down, and this cat just jumped in his lap.
Dude, do you know they say that cats on this?
They're weird, I know.
Cats like will rest on you like to protect your spirit. I'm just saying, and he went and sat on his lap. I'm
not disputing that.
I'm not saying yay or nay to it. I'm just saying that's what they say cats do.
To think that animals couldn't have a spiritual influence would be wrong, because Jesus cast the spirit into pigs.
Yeah.
Granted, evil spirit. I was reading a big deal, and you know that I'm very particular, but it talked about how familiar spirits can attract and attach to animals. So if that's the case, a familiar spirit would be a bad spirit. If that's the case, then why couldn't on the good side that happen?
Yeah, dude. I got a cat, dude. My cat's freaking awesome. Tell you that right now.
God directed.
My cat's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not a big cat fan myself. I'm not an animal fan. Period.
Me neither. I picked up our cat, man. Our cat's amazing.
But if you think in the terms of things like, you know, the biggest question I've been asking myself, and it's from Old Testament. There's only like one time that they talk about God purposely hardening someone's heart. Well, I guess Job, God hardened Job's friends' hearts.
Mm-hmm.
They were active participants, and then Pharaoh. And so then now we're on the other side of the cross. Does God still do that? Does he harden people's hearts purposefully? The guy that never changes? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
I have to think. Did he harden Hitler's heart? Going to the extreme here.
You always do, man.
Well, name another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Castro. Pretend to love his people and do them dirty.
Or they were just on maybe their hearts. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I like to go to the extreme, because if I can say yes there, now I can dial it down. Now I can go to the next lower one. So in Hebrews 12, it says that Esau, even though at the point in time he wanted to receive repentance, right, because he sold his birthright, he couldn't. All he could do was cry bitter tears. Now, did God harden his heart? It's a weird question. It gets, in me, I believe that every person, as long as they have breath, is savable.
Yeah, as long as you got breath in your lungs, you got a chance. That's the way I see it.
That's the way I see it.
You got breath left, you got a chance.
But then that takes away, and then I answer my own question, right? So God isn't doing that.
I would say he could if he wanted. I'd say
absolutely,
God
he's capable because he's God. But I get that. But is he in the practice of doing it purposefully? Purposefully. Now, keep in mind, he purposely hardened Job's friends' hearts. He purposely hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Maybe in a moment, like if he's trying to like.
It's a crazy question.
I don't know, man.
It gets deep.
Maybe if God's trying to get you to see something, or someone else to see something, or work in a certain I don't know, man. I would say it's possible. Like like in a brief moment, like you have a hardened moment, then you harden the heart, and then maybe it takes it back. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough question, man. I don't know.
Easily identify myself places.
I don't know what God's doing, man.
I know He's up to a lot, and it's mostly good.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. He said mostly.
I regretted it as soon as it came out.
He's mostly. It doesn't go.
Listen,
hey, he doesn't always go along with what I see as good. So I'm gonna say mostly.
Yeah, I mostly don't appreciate some of the things he makes me do. Yeah, but I feel a lot better for doing them. It's hard to size up sacrifice, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
oh man, surrender, dude. For me, sacrifice. All that.
I don't know if there's a way that has to go. I mean, you surrender, then you sacrifice. Am I making a sacrifice to surrender? No.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
The surrender comes first. The sacrifice comes after that because you don't have anything to sacrifice till you surrender.
Yeah.
You could think you do. And in a temporal, mortal way, sure, you do.
Yeah, or the sacrifice wouldn't mean much if you didn't surrender.
No.
Yeah.
No, it would be temporal, temporary, whatever. Temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brain's all over the place. It's that picture over there. It's messing with me. I need to hang it up. I was going to, and I was like, what's the point? I'm moving in a month.
Are you moving? You still doing? I knew you were talking about it. What are we going to do, man? We're going to have to, I guess we could just pick this building up and move it to wherever we're going.
We're going to the bunker.
All right.
We're going from the back shack in the backwoods to the bunker.
To the bunker.
Well, it fits the season of what a lot of people are talking about.
The end times. Moving to the bunker.
I love it. I love watching the eschatology guys.
Go to the bunker.
I
do too, man.
And it's entertaining a little bit and it's amusing, but at the same time, I'm like,
oh man, there's a lot to it.
My focus got wrapped up in that.
Oh man,
I don't know how I'm benefiting myself or others, especially when it says that only the Father knows.
Yeah,
you know, there's things that are going to happen, but they've been happening since Pentecost.
Yeah, and I always like to look at it because we're supposed to stay in a constant. The way I see it, we should be preparation. Yeah. So the way I see things, it's like they're just acting in a way of their preparation.
Have you ever heard anybody? I mean?
But and I guess, how are you preparing though? You know what I mean? Are you preparing the soul, the mind, the body? You know what I mean? Are you preparing such a way for what's to come? Are you preparing for what's to come in this world? You know what I mean?
So much to that. Have you ever heard someone? Well, I'm sure you have it at a church or anything. God, please come soon.
Yeah.
And like some of the times I hear that, I'm like, no, not yet.
Oh, dude, I'm ready, man. I always say that. I'm ready, man. Like, I can't wait. Yeah. Like I was thinking about that this morning, man. I was like, man, I don't even. Yeah. I was like, I look forward to it, man.
I do. And it's there again, it's the idea too that I struggle in myself to wrap my head around eternity.
Yeah.
You know, I can understand the principle behind it and what these different things, but then at the same time, like I just said, it's just like, well, I want to meet my grandkid in June. I want to meet my grandkid in December. I want to see what they look like.
Oh, for sure, man. I do too. I want to see all that too, man.
I do. But at the same time, when I think of the levity of that compared to eternity, I'm just like, I'm dumb. How silly.
I think, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think to a point, though, I don't know.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, like,
I think it's just the love that you have for them and for those around you and, you know, for your family. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. It's a good thing. I mean,
it's not necessarily bad.
Like, I sometimes envision myself, like, you know, around the big table with, you know, my kids and like, you know what I mean? And it's
so
just
that's part of why we're moving.
Yeah. And I see all that at times and it fills me with a lot of joy and a lot of love. I mean, I'm goosebumping up as I'm saying it. So, I mean, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing.
Well, a lot of it has to do with time of year and the fact that I got the grill. But we've had...
You got the grill.
I did, because I like to use it.
That grill's bringing about some greatness.
It is. Yeah. It's bringing about some fellowship at a table that was much needed. So every Wednesday, the kids come over. Invite all of them, but only a few show up. But so every Wednesday, the kids come over, and it's just been so healthy for everyone.
Community, man. Connection.
Even when there's nothing wrong, healing happens. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I have 8 grandkids on the ground. 6 of them I see quite a bit.
Yeah.
I got 2 more coming.
Nice.
And That's a big table, buddy.
That is a big
And
table,
my house
man.
is not very big.
That's even better.
I moved here because it's not very big, because I didn't want to do these things, you know. But it's important, and it's been beyond just the family. We've had friends come over and eat, people that had 2 days clean, you know.
That's awesome.
That probably didn't know what they were walking into.
Yeah.
Full disclosure. But when they come in, and you can just see it written on their face, and you've seen it with people just all the time.
Yeah.
And then you get to have that moment with them, and they leave, and they're standing a little straighter.
Mm-hmm.
They might not have a full-on smile,
But they're lifted and shifted a bit.
but you can tell, and it's just like it's nothing, anything that we do per se. It's the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So it's just like when you walk into a certain building, and you can just feel the Holy Spirit thick, and the spiritual line's thin.
Yeah.
That's what I want when people come.
Yeah, walk through the threshold of the house.
It used to feel like that a lot back here.
Yeah. Still does, man. It felt good when I walked in here, man.
Well,
just so
I
you
think
know.
part of that's because it's been a couple weeks.
I was like, ooh, it feels good in here. I even said that when I walked in. I said, ooh, it feels good
I
in
have
here.
been spending a little bit of time out here, meditating, reflecting, things like that. A lot, mostly because I did a lot of work out here and I'm moving. You know what I mean? And a part of me is like, I'm gonna take all these boards down.
I'm taking my boards with me. You ain't having nothing.
The good thing is
Leave the boards, Ryan.
The bunker already is all wooded in, so it looks nice down there. But anyways, there's a sacrifice involved.
Yeah. Usually before something great happens, there's typically a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Would that be right?
But if I don't stay the course, it'll be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's more responsibility that comes with it. There is. Yeah. There's more oversight too, definitely.
Making moves, Ryan. Making moves, man.
Yeah. I don't like landlords typically.
Yeah.
And I have to love this one.
Dude, I hear about your landlord a lot, man.
Have you seen him on the Facebook?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, holy crap, man. This dude can't catch a break, but I think he brings it on himself from what I'm reading, so I don't know.
He has for years and years and years. But
oh my God.
So
I was like, wait a minute, that's Ryan's landlord.
It is my landlord.
I was like, man, poor Ryan over there.
Doesn't even faze me. He don't talk to me till
That's what I said. I was like, well, Ryan doesn't ever have nothing bad to say about this guy.
He won't talk to me.
Yeah, I'm like,
he's not the greatest landlord in the world, but you know what?
He sounds like he leaves you alone, lets you do your thing though, and
he hasn't talked to me in 6 months, so yeah. I will say I tried to get him to fix the air conditioner, and he said that it's my responsibility to fix it, and I was like, what the F? And then he's like, I ain't talking to you if you're gonna cuss at me.
But like, didn't you get it fixed though?
No.
Oh,
listen. So
I thought you did. I thought he fixed it.
No, he didn't fix it.
Oh no, we're getting totally off subject here, but yeah.
Well, now listen. So at the time, I wasn't working.
Yeah,
and I didn't have the money. Because it is. I'm not
fix the AC, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, when you move into one of those houses, the first $250 of maintenance is on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. It's illegal, but whatever. So I called a couple places to find out how much it would cost, and didn't have the money. I wasn't working. And honestly, dude, and this sounds so stupid. And I asked JVB and Annette both. I said, "Do you think God's in the business of fixing air conditioners?" Hear me out on this.
About anything, man.
I think he is. So my air conditioner inside was freezing up every day. I mean, it was like 80 degrees in my house, middle of summer, July. Go through it with Jake. He hasn't talked to me since then. Fine, whatever. Don't care. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So about 5 days into that, I kind of like, at first when I was thinking about it, I was like, I'm just going to pray about it, you know? And really the prayer wasn't necessarily for my AC to work. The prayer was, however it happens, you know, it's the same way as I got this house. You know what I mean? God blessed us with other people. And so it was almost that prayer, you know, and it's like a selfish prayer that I hate to pray. And then one day I go inside and it's 62 degrees.
Dang.
and we've had zero trouble with it since then. So it worked.
Go.
So I called him in August to
Yeah,
fix
because he
it.
told me it was working. So yeah.
And so
Story behind
I
it.
haven't really said a whole
Yeah.
lot about it.
I
just
thought he
because-
fixed it. Yeah.
No, someone did. And
Yeah.
maybe my neighbor come over and charge it for me. I don't know, because I complained to him because I was hanging out at his house all the time out back. But yeah, God's in the business of fixing things and so because of that, it was like, well, now we can have people over.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
That's that good kind of weird.
Is it really? It's really not weird, but I think it's weird.
Yeah. I think it's good.
But yeah, it's God in the business of fixing air conditioners. I'm gonna go with yes, because mine's worked perfectly
Yeah.
every day since like late August of last year.
Yeah. Well, we had some hot days back then.
Dude, it was miserable.
Oh, man,
it
it was hot.
it was about 2 weeks of it that just
Yeah.
couldn't sleep at night.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about it. It
Oh, I
was
complained
so
all the
hot.
time,
Oh,
and I was here constantly.
yeah.
And the good thing too that happened from it was, and even the neighbor said, he's like, you need to get out of your house.
Yeah, you were
Come
moving.
over and
Yeah.
see me.
Yeah, you were outside.
And we had just started the ice baths too.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Which did help too, because I was cold all the time and didn't need the AC. But it got me out of my house. So instead of sitting in here sulking, I went across the street and got to know this amazing person that I value his friendship so much, and I trust him with my life. And I've only known him since last July.
Yeah.
But there again, I mean, test the spirits, pray about it, different things. But it's very interesting how that little thing and trying to get other people to believe that. You know what I mean? Like you do, because you've been to my house.
Mm.
You just assume that someone fixed it.
Yeah. I
Someone
did.
did.
Yeah.
That's a person.
Yeah. That's what I thought
I'm
happened.
going to go with that.
I just figured your landlord got somebody over and they took care of it.
No.
No way, not this
Nope.
guy. Not from what I'm reading, anyways. I was like, holy smokes,
When
man.
the electric pole fell off the side of the house,
Yeah.
he did, because that's a different
Yeah.
category. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
jumped on it,
Yeah.
but he didn't answer my phone calls. Not one time. I had to have KP&L call him, Evergy call him.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's probably why I jumped.
Well, there's legal ramifications,
I
definitely.
mean, yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, man, it's crazy. Now that I think about it, kind of makes me. I'm like, why do you ever quit praying,
Yeah.
dummy?
Get caught up, man. You get caught up. A lot of distractions going on, man. Always constant. They're all there to pull us away, I believe.
Dude, it's everywhere.
Yeah. It's there to
I mean-
pull. It's there to pull you away, man. You got to fight harder to get back and
Yeah.
fight hard to stay there, man.
Well, and the longer
Hold
you're
ground,
at it, it's extremely difficult to find people that you can trust. And so then you're left with this one thing. And I think it takes away from the idea too of that, well, if I can't trust the things that God created, how can I trust him?
Or you just
know?
trust everybody to be who they show you to be, and you know who they are.
Well, you do. I mean, I give people the benefit of the doubt right off the gate and let them take it away. That's
Yeah, oh, yeah,
that's my
yeah.
nature. Other people, you got to earn trust. Well, that's
I
fine.
don't know
You can
about
do
that. Yeah.
I'll give you the trust, and if you break it, I'll let you earn it back.
Yeah.
More often than not, I'll let you earn it back.
Or just set boundaries.
Well, that comes with it. That's
Yeah.
part of the earning it back part.
Yeah.
Start letting the wall down a little more and more and more, Like my
Yeah.
little brother, I don't trust him. I don't. I mean, it makes me nervous, He was doing really good. Now he's not. And it's like, now I got to lock
I was thinking
now I
about
gotta
him the
lock
other
my
day.
door again.
Yeah, he's still not doing good then, I'm assuming.
I mean, I don't know. He's doing little brother good, all things considered. I don't think he's
Yeah.
injecting
Keeping it together somewhat.
terrible drugs into his
Yeah,
arm
yeah.
right now. But
Doing the best he can at the moment.
I mean, yeah, he's not doing as good as he could, and he's not doing as good as he says he is, for dang sure. But there again, I mean, I would have to think that my parents prayed prayers for him. I prayed, my grandparents, all these things, and it's like God says, "All right, I got you," but I'm putting the ball in his court.
I'd say he's doing all right then, to a point.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm okay with whatever happens. It's very strange. I don't know. Maybe I prepared myself for that a long time ago. It's weird though. Like we were up at Third Thursday uptown for that deal, and a friend of ours comes up, and the first thing was asking about somebody else, and I thought the immediate thing was they found him dead.
Oh,
You
snap.
know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's someone that was clean, and now they're back in addiction, and she just had this really distraught look on her face, and all these things,
man.
and so I mean, like I'm already
Yeah, kind of prepping yourself.
crying a little bit,
Yeah.
and she says, "Oh, have you talked to his daughter?" And I was like, no, not in a year, or whatever. And so then I was like, oh no, that comes over you. And it's like, why do I refuse to just let God have that? Trust in whatever it is with any of them, with myself,
with all things, man,
kids, wife,
all things, that's surrender.
Grandkids,
all things, man.
It is. Well, it's because I want to be in charge. I would be a terrible judge. Oh man,
don't judge, be, man. Don't judge, right? Don't do it, man.
We already have that episode. We'll talk about that again later.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking about that today too.
You have to you have to read the book.
Yeah.
Right. And in this like sizing it up, critical, whatever it is. I mean, your judgment's based on your boundaries, and your judgment isn't condemning. Your judgment isn't supposed to be hateful. You know what I mean? Your judgment's to call out sin. Now, how you go about that, that's up to you. I'm not going to stand on a corner and yell at people and call them sinners.
Here's a good one. Don't criticize or judge other people. Regard everyone else as an angel. Justify their mistakes and weaknesses and condemn only yourself as the worst sinner. This is step one in any kind of spiritual life.
I'd agree with the last part of that.
I would agree with that fully, really.
I mean, if you start sizing yourself up to other people,
I guess,
you're going to find somebody eventually that does it better than you, and you're going to have resentment.
But you would consider yourself the worst of worst, you know what I mean?
Compared to who?
To anybody.
Serial murderer?
I mean, if you're looking, yeah. But you could choose. Well, I don't know, man. I like that because you should be judging. Like I guess I don't even judge myself to a point. But you know what I mean. If I'm at the table, I will look at myself for the worst and what can I do to do better. Like I cannot do anything. You are completely out of my control.
Right.
I can only control me.
Well, yeah.
So then why would I sit there and put all that focus on trying to control you when then it's just going to set up expectations? Yeah. It's going to set that up. So why can't I just look at me and then just work on me?
You have way more control out of influence than you do out of griping at people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
right. And then just show, you know what I mean? And just work on me and become the best me that I can possibly be. And then just continue on that path. Yeah. And then I think, that will speak volumes like you're saying.
You got to throw
instead of sitting there yelling at people and judging and casting my stones, man. Like,
oh yeah.
Man, I'm the worst. I'm the worst there ever was or ever will be, man.
Highly likely.
And I'm doing better.
Yeah. I think about that.
And I'm getting better.
The things that I've done that, I mean, condemning. You know what I mean? The skating through the legal system, where I should have probably gone to prison and I didn't. Just those little things. They're easy to forget that I was once that person, even though it could be a slow slip back to it or a quick one. You just never know.
Yeah. And that would go to like Angels Unaware.
Dude, I've got some good stories.
You know what I mean? Like Angels Unaware, like if someone comes up to my step and I'm just like already deem them just as, like you're a sin, you're terrible, get away from me. And that happens to be an angel.
I can see where that quote you read does talk, and it does apply to scripture where it says, you should be careful how you treat the people at your table because some have entertained angels and been unaware. I grasp that idea and I've seen it in action.
Yeah.
And I could give testimony on it, and I don't know how long we've been on here, but there again, then it's like sometimes I get in this idea of like, man, I really could use an angel right now, But it's still at the same time as my whatever it is I'm doing really is what's blocking me from that.
Yeah,
it's not that they're not there; it's that I'm not paying attention.
Exactly. So it comes back to you, man, every time, man.
Absolutely, it does, 100%.
So I like that one.
Yeah,
I read that today. I was like, ooh, I like that.
It's a little outside. It's a little outside my theological box.
It's a little bit, man.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, my theological box has grown.
It's getting a little bigger. The box, your box is getting a little bigger, man.
I took some pretty hard hits there a few years ago, and to my pride, really. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's when it's all you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
And
then that comes down to another person, you know what I mean? Kind of, just being a little bit more graceful and kind. And
well, it's just the people were there all along. It just finally took me paying attention.
right.
That were trying to teach me better.
Yeah.
Not moral better. I had good people like that in my life all the
Or
time.
just
and I
having
totally ignored
patience, or just having patience probably with you.
Having
man.
the willingness to surrender, to sit down and ask the right questions.
Yeah.
And then also finding someone that was willing to hear my side of it. Because most people were like me, I don't care what you got to say. This is the right way.
Yeah.
I think there's certain things that are no-brainers, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would agree with that.
Well, I'm excited about your race.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely be praying for you before, during, and after.
Yeah, thanks,
And
thanks, man.
if you can think about it, have somebody hit me up when you get finished, because I don't know if it'll be on your mind.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm guessing.
I doubt no one will be. We'll see if anyone's even
that's
out
half
there.
your age is going with you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is his family going to be there?
I don't know, man. I'm actually, I don't know. Like, I just go. I mean, it's an all day thing, and who wants to sit there and just? I imagine people will pop in and out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That'd probably be one of those things. But I mean, we're running through the night, so I mean, it's like
that Enterprise.
Yeah. So it's. I mean,
there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
what I
good place
mean.
to run.
Yeah, it's backwoods. It's back roads. So I mean, that's
I
what
think
we're
you should
running.
start running like my dog. Just take off and go.
Yeah.
However far till he's tired, and then he just lays down and waits.
They do that, man. They do that.
Go miles, dude.
Yeah, they do that.
You want to pull up your deal?
Oh, you want me to read that?
I do. I want to close out with that. I thought it was good.
I'm still kind of working on it.
Dude, we're a constantly work in progress.
Yeah. I mean, I just jotted it down.
You might really change it after Sunday. Look, I regret this.
Oh no, it's good. I definitely don't regret that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good. It's
a great snapshot of a moment in time.
No, I think about
preparation spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally.
Man, I should have.
And it's a recognition of what's ahead.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, no, it is. I liked it. I thought it was very good.
It encompasses so much, and I can't explain it anymore until you read it.
Yeah, and it's very hard to read because my chicken scratch.
I didn't know you took a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, I wrote it on the fly.
Oh, my
goodness. And I was like, man, I should probably capture this because it's, it wrote out pretty well, and I had goosebumps when I was writing it. So I was like, man, I got to save it.
Not to take away from that, but if you take that to Google Lens, you might be able to do it that way.
You think it could read it?
I don't know.
I'll just read it, man. I just read it before we started anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
All right, I'll read it. All right, here we go. I just wrote this the other day just on the fly, like I said, but it's pretty good. Just had a lot of thoughts, emotions going through me. So here it goes. I'm about to embark upon the impossible, a 100-mile run in which I am finding hard to even fathom. I envision myself at the finish. I envision myself at the finish, though. So in a way, it is possible. The faith is certainly there. I see the pain in the process, the discomfort of what's to come. The fear tries to present itself and take over the mind. Little does the fear know that I'm addicted to the process. I look forward to the feel of this pain. I welcome it. I enjoy it. I have found in the process a place in where I can go, a place that is worked on and grows, a place in where I find delight to go. It is a place where I am allowed only to go when the pain I feel is in a way in which I cannot bear. This place I have found is incredible, and words have a tough time to even detail. This place is my pain cave. I look forward to its growth.
I think if we're doing it right, we spend a lot of time in that cave.
Yeah.
Because there's sacrifice involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of sacrifice there, man.
A
lot of surrender in there.
Yeah. A lot of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it was beautiful. Yeah. That's so good. Sip that.
Yeah. I will. I'll write. Actually, because you know when you read that, dude, I'll have to write it out and send it to you.
Oh, you can. You can send it to me, and I'll see if my Google Lens will pick it up. See what happens, and then you can edit it later. But
yeah.
I'm glad you finally made it over.
Yeah, me too, man. For real, too long, Ryan. Too long. Man, I love our conversations.
I don't have very far to go to the back shack. I think going to the bunker will help some. And about the time we move, it'll be winding down a little bit.
Yeah.
It won't be as busy. School will be out, so you're not chasing kids around doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. That kills my evenings.
I think my work's getting ready to even out a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been working tons and tons and tons of hours. I've been averaging 20 plus hours of overtime a week.
Ooh, man, that's too much, Ryan.
And then that's what plays into like
that's probably why you have such a tough time, man. You're burning all your ends, man, at work.
Nobody else shows up, man.
Man, it'll still be there, Ryan. Like I tell you, man.
Yeah,
the place will be there.
I have
and you'll be better when you're there.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy my time there. Like
Yeah.
I love on overtime when I'm just playing Pinochle. Don't get me wrong.
Oh man, I want to play some Pinochle,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
I've been playing on online.
Well, while you're running on Saturday, I'll be playing Pinochle
Dude,
with the guys probably.
I play it online, right? And dude, you think I have the whole world to sit there and play Pinochle with online, and dude, there's barely even anybody playing Pinochle online. I barely get a game in every now and again.
Because they're all in prison.
Probably.
I seen a meme the other day that says,
Yeah.
I don't have time to teach you spades. You go to jail and learn like everybody else.
True story. Yeah.
I did not.
Pinocchle's even harder.
I did not learn how to play cards in jail. I learned at
I
a
did.
friend's table. It was an older couple. They like to play a lot of card games, and so we played like even Rook.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, from the 40s or something.
I don't know how to
It was a weird.
I know how to
I'll
play
have to find a
Pinochle,
rook deck.
spades, like all those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Pluck. I
Pitch.
know how to play Pluck. That's fun.
I could probably pick that up again, but it's been
Pluck's like a three-man
20 years.
game.
Yeah. The guys at the treatment center do not like playing it.
Yeah.
I've tried before just for something to do because it's hard to find 4 people to sit down.
Yeah.
And but yeah, no. Well, man,
Much love, Ryan.
I love you, bro.
Yeah, love you too, brother.
We love you guys.
One love. Shalom.
That's it.